finding a number one franchise goaltender in the NHL is no easy task. Just ask a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Some organizations find their guy early in the first round, sometimes even number one overall, potentially later on in the first round, and every once in a while a franchise finds an absolute gem very late in the draft. And of course, not every team is lucky enough to have a top-end goalie at all. Quite a few organizations are still searching. In 2012, the Winnipeg Jets would select a long, lanky netminder in the 5th round, 130th overall, by the name of Connor Hellebuyck. The Michigan native was selected out of the Tier 2 junior league known as the North American Hockey League, coming off of an impressive season with the Odessa Jackalopes. Taking a chance on Hellebuyck in round 5 has certainly paid off for the Winnipeg Jets, as this underdog went from having just one collegiate team offer him a scholarship to breaking records at UMass Lowell, eventually becoming an AHL All-Star, then an NHL All-Star, winning the Vezina trophy, and becoming one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League. After Hellebuyck's junior year playing Division II high school hockey, he told his dad he, quote, didn't have a backup plan for his NHL dream, and also told his father, quote, I'm going to make it. Heading into his senior year of high school, Hellebuyck really honed in on his craft, studying other goalies and learning about what they were doing wrong. And this was when he developed his calm play style and realized that being positionally sound is what he thought gave a goaltender the best chance of making saves. He actually considers himself one of the least flexible goalies in the NHL today. His philosophy is that, quote, if you keep yourself in position, you give yourself a chance at all times to make the save, as opposed to being able to dive around and do the splits. This play style has helped Helly to become one of the best goaltenders in hockey today, and is very evident when you watch him play on a game-by-game basis. Going basically unnoticed and underscouted, Hellebuyck went undrafted in both the USHL and NAHL drafts. He admitted that at the time it was a huge heartbreak, but quickly changed his mindset and said, quote, I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I have to go play Tier 3 junior, I'll do it. It wouldn't quite get to that point, as he was eventually invited to the Odessa Jackalopes camp in Texas by scout Craig Sarner. Hellebuyck, knowing that this was his only shot, became extremely motivated, and Odessa's head coach Paul Gillis knew that Connor would be something special. He would end up carrying the Jackalopes into the playoffs in his one and only year there, posting a stunning .930 save percentage, winning North American Hockey League Goaltender of the Year, NAHL Rookie of the Year, and First Team All-Star. After the season, Hellebuyck would move on to play college hockey at the only school that offered him a full-time scholarship, the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. In his first meeting with the team's head coach, Norm Bazin, Coach explained that there would be some competition in net with goaltender Doug Carr, who had just posted an impressive .928 save percentage in his sophomore season and was the runner-up for the conference's Player of the Year. Hellebuyck would respond with a straight face and say, quote, is that good? Or should we push for .950? Coach Bazin was a little shocked by the response at the time, but later understood that was just Connor, and he's wired a little differently. The superstar would end up hitting the mark, putting up a truly incredible .952 save percentage, as well as a 20-3 record his freshman year, eventually leading the Riverhawks to their first ever Hockey East championship. They'd also come within a goal of playing for a national championship that year, and Helly would be nearly just as good in his sophomore season, posting a .941 save percentage and winning the Mike Richter Award for college hockey's best goalie, also helping UMass Lowell to yet another conference championship. Connor Hellebuyck is legitimately one of the best college hockey goalies ever, and his career save percentage of .946 is still the best in NCAA men's hockey history. He would turn pro after his sophomore season and had a very impressive rookie year in the AHL with the St. John's Ice Caps, playing 58 games with a .921 save percentage and becoming an AHL All-Star. Over the next 2 years, he'd get his feet wet at the NHL level for the Winnipeg Jets, and in his third season at 24 years old, he would blossom into the dominant goaltender he'd been at every level up to this point. And with Winnipeg having a team that was a legitimate cup contender, Hellebuyck was the backbone, winning a league-leading 44 games, posting a .924 save percentage, 2.36 goals against average, and finishing second in the Vezina Trophy race, behind only veteran Pekka Rinne in Nashville. He would also put up impressive numbers in the playoffs, with a .922 save percentage and 9 wins. But unfortunately, the Jets would fall just short of the Cup Finals, losing to the best expansion team ever, the Vegas Golden Knights. During the 2019-20 season, Hellebuyck reached the pinnacle of individual awards for a goalie, winning his first Vezina Trophy, even finishing 6th in the Hart Trophy vote. And since then, Connor Hellebuyck has continued to be one of the premier netminders in the league and finished top 4 in the Vezina Trophy vote in 2 of the last 3 seasons as well. This year, he's again looking like one of the best and is top 3 in many of the most important goaltending stat categories so far, including goals saved above expected, where he is at the top. He's also arguably the biggest piece of a Jets team that looks like one of the most well-rounded in the league and look poised to go on another cup run. If there's anyone I would want backstopping my team, it's a guy who said, quote, "I kind of was always the underdog, and I don't even want to be recognized. I don't need the fame or any of that. I figure it's going to come if it comes. I just want to do the best. I want to be the best at what I do. I don't care if other people think it or not." And this guy, with his powerful mindset and underdog mentality, could very well lead this Jets team to their franchise's first ever Stanley Cup.